What the fucking dude? What's going on? Where the fuck are you?
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Hello good people and welcome to my first ever Pajero workshop. Today I'm gonna show you how to upgrade the brakes on your Gen 1. And now if you got all the parts off the list, then that's a thumbs up, and let's go outside and get the ball rolling. So I also thought I'd show you guys quickly the difference in that upgrade that we do. Even though they are both pretty much 276 mils, same size, right? Here's the difference. So the old one is about 20 mil thick, and see how this, the air vents are in here. And the upgrade is 24 mil, and see how much better air can flow through here, so they will stay much cooler. And then obviously this, sorry, a bit hard to see because of the bloody sun. This is the old road caliper with a single piston in the back, and that's the disc size. And that's the new caliper with a double piston in the back, and also see the pad size on there. So the pad, I would say, is about at least 25% bigger. So yeah. Alrighty then, let's get straight into it. We're gonna grab an oil filter wrench and crack open the hub lid. Don't forget that rubber ring inside, it usually likes to get stuck, so yeah, make sure it's in there. Now we're gonna have to get the clip out, so I'm not sure how good you can see that here. You pretty much just grab two flat screwdrivers, whack them in there, you gotta wiggle around a bit and the clip should come off. Now we're going to grab an 8mm Allen key and remove the hub base from the hub drum. Problem we're going to have now is that the bolts are quite tight and they want to rotate into that direction. So the simple thing we're going to do is grab a crowbar and whack it in like that. If you're worried about the threads on the bolts, you either put the nut on it or you just put a piece of rack between the crowbar and the thread. Whoops, I clearly need more coffee. There we go. What a stubborn bastard. So, now it should slide off. If it doesn't want to slide off right away, don't be shy to grab a hammer and give it a few love taps. Tap, 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 tap. There we go. Time to slide the caliper off. 2 bolts here, which we're gonna open. So one will be here. And the other one will be here. There's also a small bolt on the backing plate, which is located here. All bolts out, it should be loose now, and that means we can just slide it off that direction. We're just gonna let it sit on top of the wishbone like that. Righto, time to get the hub assembly off. We're gonna have to open 4 bolts in here to get the washer out.
Was ne Arbeit anbelangt, 100 ist mir hätte ich sicher wieder packt. Ich geh zur Haustür, nein, es ist erst halb wie 3. Im Flur, da riech ich schon, dass jemand raucht. Du hast einen Nachbarn, da er hat mein Bademantel an. Auch da weh ich dann also nimmer braucht. Jetzt hab ich nix mehr rauf, ich fahr am Brennen auf. Lass alles hinter mir, will bloß noch weg von dir. Davon kommt schon der Gardasee. Da tut's auch bloß noch halb so weh.
It will be a bit fiddly to get out, so you just have to take a flat screwdriver and poke in like that to get behind it, and then it should come out at one stage.
Vorne ist die Straße frei, durch eine laute Musik rein und ich tritt so fest ich kann.
The so-called hub nut can be opened by taking a screwdriver, poke it in the hole, and normally it should come loose quite easy.
Letzten Jahr vorbei und die sind gar nicht so zufrieden gewesen. Es war ein Schlecktag dabei, ja das muss halt einmal sein, aber insgesamt betrachtet war ich schon sehr zufrieden. Vor nicht allzu langer Zeit, ja da war ich dann so weit, hab mir's Geld schon gleich für einen Schienenring. Doch den brauch ich wohl nicht mehr, denn der Herr vom Hochbau, der hat bei der Geschichte jetzt auch die Finger drin. Du hast nicht einmal studiert, so es war gar nichts passiert.
Keep in mind that the backside has got a groove in it.
Ich hab mich täuscht am Gardasee, es tut wohl nur eine Zeitl weh.
And here's the bearing. Make sure it doesn't fall on the ground when you pull the thingy out. There we go, slides off, super easy. One more thing to do, 4 last bolts and we can take the backing plate off. But before we do that, I'll take a white marker and make markings where to trim it with the grinder. just hold the caliper up in this rough position so that I know where to mark. Note, this little corner here needs to be cut a bit more than I have marked. You will see it when I come back with the backing plate. Whoop, where you going, you little bastard? And there you are. Off it comes. Here it is. Now I'm gonna go trim the backing plate, clean those pieces up, clean the hub assembly out, and we'll be back for the assembly.
How the hell does he get away with that? Next!
Alrighty-o, let's get that old disc off the hub assembly.
One ball of cardia, ben come up lang a billabong, invented on a ground lang a cooler battery, inventing.
That song is Northern Territory Aboriginal Pidgin English, by the way, and I absolutely love it. If it's being a stubborn prick, just soak it a little bit with WD-40 and maybe give it a few nice love taps with a hammer. I'm going to use a rag and clean out all the excessive grease in there, and this disc is still good, so we're going to use that for another car as a donor disc. Now we're going to grab the new bolts. You have to get 12 of them. The size is M10 and they are fine thread pitch, so the pitch is 1.25. You're going to need them as the new disc is a little bit smaller, so the old bolts will be too long. You might be able to get away with it to use a few washers, but I thought I just better get some new screws, or bolts I should say. And yeah, here we go. And just like we do with the wheels, we tighten them in a star pattern. So, here's the refurbished backing plate. Note that little corner, I've cut it out more than I originally had marked it. It actually touches the caliper still a little bit, but as we say here in Australia, I simply couldn't be asked cutting it again. Time to slide the hub assembly back on. That's actually from another car, cause my video camera had a slight malfunction. Make sure you got enough grease in there and then slide the bearing in as well. Now we're going to grab the hub nut. Make sure the groove is on the back. Oh hey kitty. Now I'm going to use a screwdriver and use the axle as leverage to tighten that nut. Whilst I do that, I try to wiggle the whole assembly a little bit so that I can tighten that nut as much as possible. Now we're gonna put the hub washer back on. Make sure you got it the right way around so the front is tapered. There will be 4 bolts that's going on there. It will be a bit tricky to line it up. You might have to get it back out again and then open the nut again, tighten it again, open a little again, tighten again, and so on. You'll see.
Geil auf dich die Zweifel töten, in dem Schattenkreis erröten, denn ich nackt wie ich geboren, halb gefunden, halb verloren, halb gezogen, halb gesunken, halb verdurstet, halb betrunken, mitternächtlich bei dir liege, töricht mich dich betrüge.
Now everything is nice and tight and the holes line up nicely. I'm gonna put the 4 bolts back in. 2 of them might look a bit funny, it's because I had to grind them open for them to work. I haven't had any spares lying around, but I replaced them pretty much the next day. I scored some nice manual hubs, so I'm gonna put them on. First we're gonna install the hub base with 6 bolts. We're also gonna slide that clip back onto the drive shaft. You might have to hold the drive shaft in the rear. 2 screwdrivers and it should slide on quite easy.
In meinem Kopf sind Spiegelscherben, taumelnd.
Make sure it's on proper. Grab the drive shaft in the rear and pull it a little bit to make sure it sits on nice and tight.
Und ewig leben muss es etwas Drittes geben. Alles dreht sich mich her.
Hub bolts always should have a washer on them.
Versinkt im Farbenmeer, wenn ich tanze. Mit dir tanze. Wenn ich tanze. Mit dir tanze.
And that's the new cover. I gave it a bit of a spray. It's gonna look mint ass. I forgot to add. Just carefully chuck a crowbar back in to prevent the assembly from spinning. So, and now I really don't know what kind of music to play. Do I want hillbilly or do I want to have something really hard? Oh, hang on a minute. Now we're gonna slide the NL caliper back on. I specifically went with that caliper because they're quite widely available. I simply ordered a service kit and refurbished it. And some brake caliper paint makes quite a difference.
I did my time an hour now. So effusive, fate, it doesn't cut. The soul is not so vibrant. The reckoning, the sickening back into some.
Let's have a look if it rotates nicely. Yep, seems to be alright. Or, there we go. The brake pads will align themselves proper once we're done the bleeding.
Again, we're done. It has begun. I'm not the only one. And the rain will kill.
Now let's take off the brake hose so that we can use it on the other caliper. The NL caliper comes with a different brake hose and a different bracket. So if you don't have that brake hose, get one which is about, say, 5 inches long. Here's the bracket and the clamp, of course. This clamp we're gonna leave on for now so that we can crack open the brake hose with a size 10 spanner.
Oh, there are cracks in the road we lay. From where the devil fell, the secrets have gone bad. This is nothing new, but won't we kill it?
We're gonna use a screwdriver and some pliers to get the clamp off. And once we got the hose off, we just chuck it in our Coke bottle.
Just look me in the eyes and say I'm wrong. Now there's only emptiness, but a message to bring. I think we're done, I'm not the only one. And the rain will kill us all. Throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the martyr in me. Psychosocial, psychosocial, psychosocial.
We just tuck the bottle away right next to the damper and leave it for now. Let's install the bracket. So, and now it gets a bit fiddly. So you want to hand tighten the bottom nut first, then you feed the other flexible brake hose through the top. Try to just hand tighten it a little bit, and then you just finish it off by tightening everything with your spanner, and in the end we're going to chuck the clamp on. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the clamp and MC Hammer, and he can touch it. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Now we're just gonna make sure that everything is nice and tight.
You know, folks, I was talking with my honey the other day. My Pablo honey. I said to her, Pablo honey, I said, you go to my head.
Now let's open the brake reservoir and top up the liquid in it.
Okay, computer. When you were here before, I couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the heck am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts.
So, now we're gonna need the Coke bottle. The hose should go through the lid like this. You don't need to tighten the lid. Make sure the hose is in the brake liquid. Just put some old one in there. If you haven't got any, use some new one. Pop the hose on like this and just crack open the nut.
I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
Alright, now let's go and give it a few pumps. Book. There we go. 3, 4, nice liquid coming through there. Beautiful. Now we come back and close the breather. Then I just go back to the car, pump the brake a few times, and then do it one more time.
Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so very special.
See, comes nice and clear. No air bubbles. I recommend you do that again after around 100 kilometers of driving.
A weirdo. What the heck am I doing here? I don't belong here. I'm a creep.
And we're done. Look at that. How nice does that look? Bit of paint always helps. And yeah, I can't wait for the improvement. I also recommend that you upgrade your brake booster to Generation 2. You will have just so much more control over your brakes.
Fitter, happier, more productive, comfortable, not drinking too much. A pig in a cage.
Well, thank you very much for watching. Would be nice if you could leave a like and maybe even subscribe. There will be more videos like this to come. Have a good one, everybody.
Good night. What the fucking do? What's going on?